All right, we're going to be going over sentence diagramming and how to do sentence diagramming in case you missed any classes or you are confused about what's going on. So first of all, what's the point of sentence diagramming? Well, it breaks down sentences into their basic building blocks, into their basic words or in word types. So you have a better understanding of word types. You understand what every word is doing. You can put sentences together in unique ways, and you can think more critically about the words that you write. So this is really going to increase your sentence fluency. It's a little bit like walking. When you learn to walk, you have to think about, okay, I'm going to lift up my foot, I'm going to kick it out, I'm going to put it down. And then as you get used to learning how to walk, and nowadays when you're older, walking is natural. Sentence diagramming is something that you're not going to think about when you're writing, just like you don't think about picking up your foot when you're walking. But it's a skill that's going to really help you have better sentences. So, starting off, we need to know what a subject and a verb are. Some people will call these subject and predicate. The verb can also be called the predicate. But for our purposes and for keeping it simple, we're just going to call it subject and verb. The subject is a noun. It will always be a noun. This is whom or what the sentence is about. The verb is what the subject does, or the predicate is what the subject does. A complete sentence has a subject, verb, and a complete thought. It has to make sense. Your sentences have to make sense if they're going to be complete. So we're going to start out with our first template, subject and verb. Just a simple sentence. We start out with just writing in our subject in this box, our verb in this box. We draw a cross, or a little T, whatever you want to call it. Here's an example. The sentence, cats meow. It's a very simple sentence. It's just a subject and a verb. So, but we put the subject, cats, the one that's doing something, in this box. We put the verb, meow, the thing that the subject is doing, in this box. Then we have something called a helping verb or an auxiliary verb. For our purposes, we're just going to call it a helping verb because that's easier. Helping verbs help the main verb in the sentence by telling more about the verb's tense, mood, and voice. If we're looking back at our sample sentence here, meow would be the main verb because that's what the cat is doing. We just call it a verb to make it easier, but it's the main verb. So the helping verb tells a little bit more about the main verb. A verb phrase is the helping verb and the main verb put together. So when you diagram a sentence that has a helping verb, that has a verb phrase, it's going to look like this. Let's take the sentence, cats will meow. Will is our helping verb. It's not the same to say cats meow because that means that cats are currently meowing. That cats meow, but adding that will in makes it future tense. So we can't get rid of will and leave the same meaning. Because cats aren't currently meowing, they will be meowing. So we have to include that will. And that's going to be on the same line as the verb because it's part of the verb phrase. This is one of the only times you will ever have more than one word on a section of a line like this. So again, we have our subject, cats, and now our helping verb, and our main verb, will meow. We're going to do a practice with this. And I brought these pictures straight from my slides, so they're built up to be taught in a classroom. But I'm just going to use them as they are here. So, our first one, dogs bark. I'm going to draw it over on a separate paper here. Okay. So we have dogs bark. The one doing something is the dog, the dogs. So if we draw our cross, the dogs are going to go in the subject place because they are doing something. And then what are they doing? They are barking. That's our verb. So it's going to go in the verb spot. Now, we have our next sentence. I'm just going to tell you. It's kids laugh. Another pretty simple one. Kids are the ones doing something. So we have our subject. We're going to draw our lines. Then what are they doing? They're laughing. That's our verb. Our next one, we start to get into verb phrases. I will leave. We can't just say I leave because that means something different. I will leave is in the future. So the one doing something is I. That's me. That's our subject. Then we have leave as our verb. What am I doing? I'm leaving. Well, we can't just leave will by itself, so we need to connect it. That's our verb phrase. And that's going to go in our verb box. One thing as you're doing these, it's really important to make sure that your vertical line here goes all the way up and all the way down. We'll get to that and why that's important later. Now, our last practice out of this section is you should dance. Oh, I'm running out of space there. So what is our subject? What is the one doing something? You. You are doing something. So I'm going to write out you, draw my horizontal line, draw my vertical line. That went all the way down. Now what are you doing? You're dancing. You dance. We can't just leave should by itself, so it becomes part of the verb phrase. It is our helping verb. You should dance. Now, I've got two for you to do on your own. I want you to pause the video and do these ones on a piece of scratch paper. So pause the video right now, and then I'll give you the answer in a second. Okay, time for our answers. First, we have leaves fall. Starting out with our subject. What is doing something? The leaves. The leaves are doing something. Draw a horizontal line, vertical line. Then what are the leaves doing? They are falling. So fall is our verb. Leaves fall. Next we have he will ski. Who is doing something? He is. That's our subject. Horizontal line, vertical line. And what is he doing? He's skiing. And we can't leave will on its own, and we can't do ski without will, so it becomes a verb phrase. Or that is our verb phrase. He will ski. Let's go ahead and check your answers. See what you got right and what you need to do better. We're going to move on. Now we have questions. And this is where it starts to get a little bit more difficult. When you have a question, you need to turn questions into statements before diagramming them. So I have an example question here, have you been cooking? We're going to take our subject and move it around so that it becomes a statement. You have been cooking. It won't always make sense. Like, for example, do you dance would become you do dance. We don't get rid of any words when we turn it into a statement. Never get rid of any words. So then, have been is our helping verb. Cooking is our main verb. These are both helping verbs. So they're all making up our verb phrase, and you is our subject. We're going to do some practices here. Can I run? If we turn that into a statement, it becomes I can run. Then when we diagram it, I am the one doing something. So we write down our subject, our lines, then we have run, but it's not I run, it's I can run. Our next one, will she fly? Turning it into a statement, she will fly. Our subject is she. She's the one doing something. So we have she, horizontal line, vertical line, and then what is she doing? She's flying. And we can't have fly by itself, so it's our verb phrase. She will fly. Are you going to do a practice on your own? So pause the video, do this one, do you know, and then I'm going to give you the answer in just a moment here. Go ahead and pause. And here is our answer. Do you know? This is one where we have extra words that might not seem necessary as a statement, but we do need to include all of our words. So it becomes you do know. Our subject, the one doing something, the one knowing something, is you. And what are you doing? You are knowing, but we can't leave out do, so that becomes our verb phrase. There you go. Moving on from questions, we are moving right along. We've got adjectives. These are words that describe a noun. I want to make a note that for sentence diagramming, the and are treated as adjectives. Technically, they are articles, but they get treated differently for sentence diagramming to keep things simple, just for sanity's sake. So when you do adjectives, you're going to draw a line that connects to the word that it's describing. In sentence diagramming, if a word is describing another word, it always connects to that word's line. So, here we go. I'm going to give you your example first. The yellow ducks quacked. We have ducks. That's our subject that's doing something. So we write it right here. What did the ducks do? They quacked. Put it in our verb area. Then we have two adjectives, the and yellow. Those are describing ducks. So we're going to connect it right there. Now moving on to our practices. We have the sentence, the young man jumped. Our subject, the one doing something, is the man. We're not going to say young man because this is describing the man and because we only want one word on our subject line. So we have man. Then, what did the man do? He jumped. That's our verb. And then we have two things describing the man, the and young. So we're going to kind of tilt our paper and draw some diagonal lines. You don't have to tilt your paper. That just makes it easier for me. But there we go. Our next example, my brown dog sleeps. What is our subject? The dog. It's the one doing something. It's the one sleeping. So we're going to write down dog. We're going to draw our horizontal line. And this time I'm going to do something different. This is just how I like to do adjectives because it makes sure that you have enough space in your diagram. Before I draw my vertical line, I'm going to do my adjectives first, the words that describe the dog. This just makes sure that I have enough space and that my vertical line won't cut off anything, to make sure that both of my adjectives can fit on the line the dog is on. And then what is the dog doing? The dog is sleeping. The dog sleeps. Put our verb in. Now, I want you to do this practice on your own. Pause the video. I'll give you the answer in 1 second here. I was writing the wrong subject. Your. We're starting to get into longer sentences here. So, our subject, the one that's doing something, is the movie. Because the movie is the thing that's ending. I'm getting messy with this one. Whoops. Okay. Draw our horizontal line. And then we're going to do our descriptive words. Which movie is it? It's your movie. And then which movie is it? It's the favorite movie. So again, words that are describing the movie. And then what did the movie do? The movie ended. Draw a vertical line all the way down, and then put our verb on the line. If you need to do more practices with these, I will have more practices at the end of this video. But for now, we are going to move on to adverbs. Adverbs. These are words that describe a verb, adjective, or another adverb. So adverbs could be doing 3 things. It's hard to sometimes grasp everything that the adverbs can do right off the bat and to figure out which word they're describing. But that's why you need to be very careful as you're going into diagramming to look at what words are affecting what words. So right here I have the template for adverbs that are describing a verb. Just like we did with adjectives, you're going to take the adverb and you are going to use a line to connect it to the word that it's describing. In this case, the adverb is describing the verb. I'm going to give you a practice with this one before we move on to the other types of adverbs. So, we have the sentence, he drives fast. He is the one doing something, so that's our subject. Draw our horizontal line. There's no adjectives, so we can go ahead and draw our vertical line. And what is he doing? He is driving. He drives. Then we have fast. It's describing how he drives. So, off of drives, I'm going to draw my diagonal line and write down fast. That is how we do adverbs. Now, this next one I want you to do on your own. So pause the video. You may pause the video now. This one, here's the answer. I am the subject. So we're going to put down I, horizontal line. Don't have any adjectives, so we can do our vertical line. I am swimming. I swim. And then we have well, describing swim. How do I swim? I swim well. So we put swim underneath, just like that. Okay. Next, we're going to move to adverbs describing an adjective. So, we have adjectives that are connected to our subject, our nouns, just like we've done before with adjectives. But now we have adverbs that might describe them. So, as your adjective is connected to your subject, describing your subject, your adverb is going to connect to your adjective. It's going to describe the adjective, just like that. Because the adverb is not describing the subject, it's describing the adjective. And when a word is describing another word, you always connect it to that line. So for example, the rather large book was falling. Book is our subject, it goes right there. What is it doing? It was falling, verb phrase. So that's going to go right there. Then we have the adjective describing the book. Which book is it? It's the book. Then we have rather and large. Which one is describing the book? It's large. It's not a rather book, it's a large book. So we have large connected to book. Then we have rather that's describing large. So off of large, we connect rather. For our example, the very purple umbrella opened. Our subject, the thing that's doing something, is the umbrella. It's opening. So our subject is going to be umbrella right here. Draw our horizontal line. And we do have adjectives in this one. We have the describing which umbrella it is. It's the umbrella. And then we have purple describing the umbrella. I'm going to want to be pretty spaced out with these just to make sure that I have enough room for everything. Now we have very. Very is describing the purple. It's not a very umbrella. It's a very purple umbrella. So we're going to draw a line that comes right off of purple and then go over with space for very. Then we can do our vertical line and throw in our verb opened. Now here's the one that I want you to do on your own. Go ahead and pause the video and do this one on your scratch paper, and then I'm going to give you the answer right here. What is our subject? This one that's doing something. It's not her. She is not our subject. The thing that's doing something is the dress. The dress is twirling. So dress is our subject. We have dress. I'm going to draw our horizontal line, and now we have a few different words that are describing dress. Whose dress is it? Which dress is it? It's her dress. So our first adjective, not necessarily an adjective, but our first describing word here is her. It's just being diagrammed like an adjective. Now, what kind of dress was it? It was a pretty dress. So now we have pretty. That's describing the dress. And then very is describing how pretty it is. It's not a very dress, it's a very pretty dress. And then what is the very pretty dress doing? It's twirling. It twirled. So that's our verb. Kind of hard to see the line here. And I may have just made it worse, but that's okay, because we're moving on. Now, we have adverbs describing adverbs. It's the same thing as with when it describes adjectives. It's just going to connect to the adverb instead. So in this example, Rover barked rather loudly. Rover is the one doing something. That's our subject. Barked is what he's doing. That's our verb. He didn't bark rather. It's not describing the verb. He barked loudly. This is our adverb that describes the verb. He barked loudly. How loudly did he bark? He barked rather loudly. It is describing how loud the bark was. So we connect rather to loudly. In the example for this one, I quite quickly stopped. I am the subject. I'm the one that's doing something. So we put I right there. We don't have any adjectives, so we're going to draw a vertical line. What did I do? I stopped. How did I stop? I quickly stopped. Quickly is describing how I stopped. Then we have quite. We didn't quite stop, we quite quickly stopped. Quickly, or quite is describing quickly. So there's that sentence. The one that I want you to try on your own. Their door closed very quickly. Go ahead, pause the video and diagram it. Here's your answer. The door is the one doing something. That's your subject. And now we have a descriptive word for door because it's not just any door, it's their door. So we need to describe the door is theirs, their door. And then what did the door do? The door closed. So that's our verb. Now we can't say the door closed very. We say the door closed quickly. Quickly is describing closed. So we're going to branch off of closed. And then very is describing how quickly it closed. So branching off of quickly, we're going to write very. Okay, so everything that you have learned so far is in this template. This is everything that we've done so far in this video. This is a good amount of progress. Nice job.